In the warm evening air of Cebu City, where the ocean breeze meets the smell of grilled food and the noise of jeepneys, stands a young man named Ramon Dela Cruz. 27 years old, wearing a faded shirt and holding an old cracked guitar, Ramon sits under a flickering streetlight beside Colon Street Market. His audience? A few passers-by, a couple selling roasted corn, and 3 children sitting cross-legged, eyes wide as he sings. Ramon's voice cuts through the noise, deep, pure, emotional. The song? Can't Help Falling in Love. People stop walking, even vendors pause to listen. In that moment, time seems to slow. His music doesn't just sound beautiful, it tells a story of survival. His father, a fisherman, died in a storm when Ramon was 12. Since then, he has sung not for fame but for his family, to feed his mother and 2 siblings. For the locals, he's known as Elvis in Cebu. He doesn't just mimic Elvis, he becomes Elvis when he sings. His voice feels like a bridge between old American soul and Filipino heart. One night, an Irish tourist named Sean Murphy records his performance. The next day, the clip goes viral, millions of views across TikTok and YouTube. People write, he sings better than Elvis himself. Days later, Sean, who works with Ireland's Got Talent, calls him. Ramon, how would you like to sing for Simon Cowell? Ramon laughs nervously. Me? On that big stage? Sean replies, yes, brother. The world needs to hear your voice. That night, under Cebu's starry sky, Ramon looks at the sea and whispers, Papa, this is for you. I'll make our name known. The news spreads like fire. Local radio stations interview him. Churches pray for him. The barangay launches a small fundraising event to buy him a ticket. Kids drop coins into a jar marked, Fly Ramon to Ireland. Finally, he boards the plane, his first flight ever. As the plane lifts off from Mactan Airport, Ramon stares at the clouds and smiles. Mama, I'll make you proud, he whispers. The journey is long, but his heart is light. He arrives in Dublin, where the cold hits him harder than he imagined. Everything feels strange, the food, the air, the silence. Yet, inside, he feels at home because the world is about to hear his music. At the hotel provided by the show, he meets other contestants, dancers, magicians, comedians. Everyone is friendly, but Ramon feels shy. He practices daily in his room, softly humming Elvis songs until late at night. His roommate says, Bro, when you sing, it feels like a movie. A few days before the audition, Simon Cowell's assistant visits the contestants. Ramon shakes her hand nervously. I'm just a simple man from Cebu, he says. She smiles, that's what makes your story special. That night, Ramon FaceTimes his mother. She holds back tears as she says, Anak, you're already a winner. Ramon smiles. Mama, tomorrow I sing not just for me, but for all Filipinos who dream. The big day arrives. The stage glows in blue and gold as the crowd chants. Backstage, Ramon trembles slightly, clutching his guitar. A staff member whispers, You'll do great. Then, the host announces, from the Philippines, Please welcome Ramon Dela Cruz. The audience cheers. Ramon walks on stage, head bowed, smiling humbly. Simon Cowell looks intrigued. So, what brings you here today? Ramon replies softly, Sir, I sing on the streets of Cebu, and I want to share Elvis's soul with the world. Simon smirks, half doubtful. All right, show us what you've got. Ramon takes a deep breath, strums the first note of Can't Help Falling in Love. The first few seconds silence the hall. His voice, low, golden, and emotional, feels like magic. People begin whispering. By the second verse, even the skeptical faces soften. Simon leans forward, eyes wide, whispering something to the other judges. The camera zooms in on Ramon's trembling hands, his passion visible in every chord. When he sings the line, "Take my hand, take my whole life too," the hall lights dim slightly, and the crowd begins clapping slowly. The performance builds to a breathtaking finish. When he ends, holding the last note, the silence breaks, the crowd rises in a roaring standing ovation. Simon's jaw drops. He's seen thousands of acts, but this feels different. Backstage footage later shows contestants wiping tears. Ramon had done something rare, he made Simon emotional. Judges Amanda and Denise exchange glances, whispering, "This is unbelievable." Simon, however, stays still, absorbing what just happened. The moment replayed on cameras shows every detail, his trembling lips, his emotion, his sincerity. His voice isn't polished, it's pure. People at home watching on TV begin posting, "Who is this Filipino Elvis?" and "I just cried listening to him." Ramon stands silently on stage, unsure of what comes next. Then Simon finally speaks, "Ramon, you didn't just sing Elvis, you became Elvis. That was one of the best versions I've ever heard." The audience screams in approval. Ramon's eyes well up. "Thank you, sir," he whispers. Simon looks at the other judges, then back at Ramon. "You know what I think?" He presses the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rains from the ceiling. Ramon falls to his knees, sobbing uncontrollably as the host hugs him. The other judges stand, clapping. Simon walks up and says, "You've just given Ireland one of its most beautiful moments." The video spreads online overnight. #Filipino Elvis trends in 12 countries. News headlines read, "Street singer from Cebu wins Simon Cowell's heart." Simon gives an interview later, "That man reminded me why I love music. It's not about fame, it's about feeling." His clip gets millions of views. Ramon becomes an internet sensation. TV channels from the Philippines call his mother for interviews. She says proudly, "My son sang for God, not fame, and look what God gave him." Meanwhile, in Dublin, strangers stop Ramon on the street asking for selfies. His hotel staff gift him a small flag of Ireland and a note saying, "You made us believe again." At night, Ramon reflects quietly. "I was just a boy from Cebu," he says to a friend. But maybe music can travel faster than any airplane. Simon invites him for a private talk before the semifinals. "Ramon," he says, "don't ever change. You're a light for people who think they're small." Ramon replies, "Sir, I just sing from my heart." The final scene of his journey is one of pure triumph. Back home in the Philippines, barangay halls fill with people watching replays of his golden buzzer. Kids shout his name. Posters appear saying, "Cebu's pride." In his next TV appearance, Ramon waves both the Philippine and Irish flags, saying, "I sing for both my homes." His voice once again fills the hall, and millions across continents feel connected by that simple Filipino soul. His mother says in an interview, he sang for his father, for the poor, and for every dreamer. Ramon later starts a small foundation to buy instruments for poor children in Cebu, naming it Elvis Heart Cebu. In his final words on stage, Ramon says, "Dreams don't belong to rich people, they belong to believers." Even a boy from the street can make the world smile. As the crowd roars and Simon stands to clap once more, golden lights fill the air. From the dusty streets of Cebu to the grand stage of Ireland's Got Talent, Ramon didn't just spread music, he spread hope, pride, and the true Filipino spirit.